Good morning and welcome to another Lebanon Senior Center cooking demo. January is National Soup Month. Ooh, we've had some cold mornings here in January, so it's a great time to think about soup. Already got the stock pot going. Look, steaminess already abounds. So in our stock pot, not crock pot, we are going to be making some chicken and potato gnocchi soup. If you've ever been to, let's say, a very popular Italian chain restaurant, maybe has olive in the title, they actually serve this soup up. It's a favorite of my oldest daughters, and a lot of people I know really enjoy it. It does involve a variety of vegetables as well, which is always bonus. It has a creamy base to it, so you are going to add a few calories with that cream base. If you're trying to avoid things, you want just something more broth based, you can certainly try to add more stock and leave out the half and half that's going to be coming up in this recipe. So what we've started with is we have a little bit of canola oil, or your favorite oil of choice. If you're living by the seat of your pants, if you want to use butter, I'm not going to judge. You know what you and your doctor have talked about. We've also got, half of a white onion. We've got a stalk of celery. I might have stuffed in two because I'm always looking ways to add more vegetables. 2 stalks of celery and 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And of course, I use the jar stuff because it makes my life easier. We've got that sauteed up in our pot, just save time, so we got that going early. So our onions are nice and sweated, and the celery is getting softer. So I'm adding in those carrots. Totally cheating. Bought a bag of pre-shredded carrots. You can sit there and grab a couple of carrots and shred away as well. Again, I'm doubling up on the amount of carrots I wanted to do. I've got probably just over a cup of shredded carrot in there. You can add more or less as you and your doctor see fit. And just going to, usually I let those saute in there a little bit as well. For the sake of today, and we aren't eating this right away, I'm going to add other ingredients on top of each other. I am going to bump up my heat a bit. So you're going to be sauteing these vegetables over a medium heat in your stock pan. Soups are fun that way because you can do it kind of as a one-pot wonder. Get all the cooking done in one vessel. It's always a bonus in my book. Let's see, so recapping, sweated half an onion, 2 stalks of celery, and 2 tablespoons of garlic, and I'm doing about 1.5 cups of shredded carrots. You can do 1 cup or less, depending on your love of carrot. And we are cooking that over medium heat. We're then going to turn to our other ingredients. I have 2-3 chicken breasts. You can cook up and dice up. I actually used half of a rotisserie chicken left over, so that's what's hanging out in my diced up cup of chicken. Let's talk about gnocchi. Gnocchi. It's not a spelling error. Gnocchi, I've already opened it up, are these tiny, oh, against my blue shirt maybe? Oh, maybe not. Pasta, and they are made from potato. So it's a potato pasta. They're like little nuggets of goodness. I am using some mini gnocchi in this recipe. You can certainly use regular sized if you would like to, and I'm going to be using the whole package. You can find them in the pasta section of most larger grocery stores. Usually they're up on the top shelf. They're not something that a lot of people know about or go to purchase. So you might have to do a little shopping around, but I can find them in a name brand change in our area. I've also got, a very healthy 1.5 cups of spinach. Again, I like to bump up the vegetables where I can. And I'm not using frozen. You can use frozen spinach, so I'm using fresh So it looks like way more than the cup of spinach because it's not squished frozen spinach, it's fresh. We're going to be using 2 cups of half and half, and we are going to be using 4 cups of chicken stock, salt and pepper to season, and some thyme. If you've got fresh thyme, that's great. If you've only got dry thyme, that's all right. So after we get our onions and carrots kind of sweated down, the carrots are starting to soften up a bit in our stock pot, we are going to start adding our other ingredients. And it's pretty simple. You just start dumping things into the soup. We are going to add in our chicken. Maybe add in our chicken. There we go. Add in the chicken. And our broth. Oh, all these little safety things I forget to pull out. There we go. And the chicken broth. Yeah, I spilled a little. Of course, it's going to happen. Of course, if you want to make your own chicken broth, you can certainly do that. I like to save myself some steps. So this reduced sodium chicken broth is kind of my go-to because I like to have more control over how much sodium is going into things like soups. Some conversation my doctor and I have had, so I'm trying to be better about my sodium intake. So we'll get the sodium in there. I like to salt and pepper towards the end after things have had a chance to cook down a little bit. So you can add some salt and pepper now. I probably will add some pepper. I am carefully measuring the way my grandma taught me, you know, using my hand as my teaspoon. And again, salt, I'm going to wait a little bit till it cooks a little bit to see if I need to add more because chicken stock can be on the salty side. All right, so we would bring the chicken broth, the pepper, and our thyme. There's almost forgot the thyme. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh, there we go. So our thyme, again, is going to be about a teaspoon. So for me, that's the center of my palm. And I'm going to kind of crush it into the pot. Just helps to release some of those oils. We might not use our thyme as much as we want to. Sorry, there's so many puns to be had there. But our spice thyme might be sitting around in your cupboard, not use that often. If it is a little older, crushing it up can sometimes help release those oils a little bit faster into what you are trying to cook. All right, and then of course, we were patiently waiting. We get this back up to a boil and give it a few minutes, give about 3 to 4 minutes to get to a boil, let it boil for just a little bit. And that's when you're going to then be adding in the spinach, the cream, half and half, and the gnocchi. You want to give it a little time to start softening up and melding those flavors together. They can cook longer. You know, if you add your milk in when it, to cook too long when it's hot, you're going to start getting things to curdle, and you don't want to do that. And you don't want your spinach to completely, disintegrate, dissolve, just not look appealing. And then the gnocchi doesn't take long to cook at all. So we're going to give our soup just a few minutes to cook, and then we would actually be adding in the other ingredients. All right, so we waited a couple of minutes. Things have been hanging out, doing their thing, getting nice and hot. So I'm going to go ahead and add in our gnocchi carefully to not hopefully splash it back at myself and make my life a little more hot and interesting than it needs to be. I'm going to add in our spinach. Oh, I'm saying our spinach. You're not getting to taste this. You're just getting to watch. Ha, 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 ha. All right, I love this pot. The handles stay nice and cool. All right, so I'm just going to stir, 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 get it nice and stirred up. And of course, in the hot liquid, that spinach is going to start wilting pretty quickly. I like to watch it wilt down. Tasty, tasty, wilty goodness. All right, and last but not least, we are going to add in, it's like being in kindergarten again. We're going to add in our half and half. I keep trying to call it cream. I know it's not cream, it's half and half. If you want to use cream, you can do that instead. You'll just want to use 1 cup of cream and add an additional cup. So you want to do 5 cups of stock, 1 cup of cream. If you kind of like that, the flavor of the cream just a little bit more. Or you can do 4 cups of stock, 2 cups of half and half. All right, so we're just going to pour that in. There we go. All the chicks in the hen house there. That off to the side. And again, you're going to let it cook for another couple of minutes. Not too long. Again, you got to watch it at this point because you added milk and you don't want to cause it to scald or curdle. Just want to be very gentle with that last little bit of cooking. Just give it a few minutes to bring those flavors together. And of course, you'll have to do the ever important feature of tasting it. Tasting it, of course, super, super important to make sure that you are, do have that salt at the right level. I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes and then we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so all our soup is finished cooking. It's looking mighty delicious. So no fancy bowls just yet. I'm actually going to dish some up for a bus driver to eat during their lunch later today. So let's see, we let it cook just a few more minutes. You just pretty much need to cook until your spinach is wilted after you get your ingredients in there for that last part of cooking. I'm going to dish them up and then try to get the camera to zoom in here a little bit. You could let it wilt down a little bit more. I still like a little toothy feel to my vegetables, so I don't like them completely soggy. Here we go. Let's see if we can get the winning shot here without tipping it out of the bowl. There you go. So that is our cooking demo for today. Hopefully you are finding a way to stay nice and warm, and a lovely bowl of soup is a great way to do that. We miss you. Hopefully you'll be coming down to the Senior Center. Our doors are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. Hopefully this year, 2022, we'll be able at some point to get back to doing our in-person cooking demos so you guys can have a taste of what we're preparing each day. Next month, it's actually just a week away, a week plus a little. Chinese New Year has already begun for their celebration, so we're actually going to be doing our cooking demo at the beginning of February. We are going to be doing some Chinese cooking. I know. Let's see it. Let's see if I can learn it fast enough to come up with a fun dish. I've done stir fries before, but we're going to be making some beef chow fun. Never made it before. It's a little similar to a stir fry, but there's a special noodle that I've never used before. And I'm intrigued because you don't have to boil it. Just has to soak. It's a rice noodle. We'll learn more next month. So enjoy soup in January. Next month, we're going Chinese food. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.